Hello students, we'll talk about nervous system again today. We've talked a lot about nervous system, but still we'll finish the chapter today. So nervous system, we discussed a lot about it. You all know what is it now. You all know what are neurons, what is the basic structure of neurons. We also know that nervous system is of two types, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. We have talked already about the central nervous system. Central nervous system has two main parts. One is your brain and another one is your spinal cord, right? We have already discussed about brain, its parts, its function. We have discussed about spinal cord in your last class. Today we'll continue with this PNS, that is your peripheral nervous system. It contains nothing but nerves, all the nerves. So how many nerves are total? There are 43 pairs. 43 pairs, and out of these 43 pairs, 12 pairs are cranial nerves, cranial, and the rest 31 pairs are spinal nerves. The cranial nerves are the one which start or which originate from the brain, and the spinal nerves, as the name suggests, they start or they originate from the spinal cord. Alright? So basically, peripheral nervous system is having nerves. Nerves, what they do, they will either collect the message or they will either give the message to the brain or to the spinal cord, right? So depending upon whether they're taking the message, where they're taking message and to whom they're giving the message, peripheral nervous system is having two components. One is autonomic nervous system, another one is somatic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is also known as voluntary nervous system, and somatic nervous system is involuntary nervous system. If it is voluntary, that means it is collecting the message from our receptors, for example our skin, and it is delivering it to the skeletal muscles. Voluntary, only skeletal muscles work under our will. We can move our arms and legs or head, but we cannot move our internal muscles of your heart or muscles of the digestive system. So your voluntary nervous system takes your messages from your receptors, from your sense organs, example skin, and they deliver it to your skeletal muscles, and you can move the skeletal muscles as per that. However, the somatic nervous system is involuntary nervous system. It means it controls all the involuntary activities like your heartbeat, like your sneezing, coughing, muscles of your digestive system, and so on, right? Breathing as well, you can include in that. So two components, autonomic and somatic. Autonomic is voluntary while somatic is involuntary. Okay? So next is this. Somatic is further divided into two parts. This involuntary part is further divided into two parts. One is sympathetic nervous system. Another one is parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay. Sympathetic nervous system increases an activity. On another hand side, parasympathetic decreases an activity. For example, you are doing a heavy exercise, right? What will happen to your heartbeat? Your heartbeat will increase. When the heartbeat increases, your sympathetic nervous system is working, okay? And when your heart beats get to normal, because after exercising you will rest, right? So what happens while you were resting? Your heartbeat came to the normal level. Who brought it to the normal level is this parasympathetic. That means one is helping in increasing the activity, another one is helping in decreasing the activity. That means bringing it to the normal phase. Alright, so these are the components of peripheral nervous system. One is autonomic, another one is somatic. Autonomic is voluntary, while somatic is involuntary, and there are so further two types, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Now the last part of your chapter is reflex action. We already have discussed reflex action, but we still will pinpoint it here. Reflex action is the quick action. In fact, it is the quickest action that a body takes. Reflex action is a quick action, right? For example, someone put a flash in your eye, a strong flash, right? What happens? You immediately blink your eye, right? So what is that blinking of eye? You didn't think whether you should blink it or not, but you did it all of a sudden, right? So this blinking is a reflex action. Another example is that you touch a hot object, something hot you touch, you immediately put your finger back. What happened? You didn't think whether should I continue touching that hot object or whether should I put my finger away, right? So this action is the quick action that you took, and the quick actions are known as reflex action. Alright? So mind this thing, whenever reflex action happens, there is no involvement of brain. Brain is not involved in this because brain thinks a lot, and reflex action has got no time to think. You have to take a quick action, so you cannot involve brain in it. Brain will give you hundreds of do's and don'ts. It will tell you try this and so on, right? But we don't have time for these things. We don't have time for thinking. Brain always thinks, so we have to completely avoid brain in this case. So if brain is not helping us, who is helping us? That is the spinal cord. Who is helping to take a quick action is spinal cord. Alright, so what is happening in this case is that, let me draw it for you. This is known as reflex arc that I am going to draw. What happens is, first of all, a stimulus is there. Stimulus is that thing which brings a response to your body. For example, a flashlight is a stimulus. Who will receive this flashlight? Your eyes. Eye, that means sense organ, and sense organs are known as receptor. Somebody with a flashlight in your eye. Flashlight is a stimulus. Eye is a receptor. Receptor will send the message to which nerve? Sensory. Remember, three types of neurons, sensory and motor. Sensory takes the message from the sense organ and deliver it to brain or spinal cord. So this message is given to sensory nerve, and this sensory nerve then deliver it to, it has got two options, whether to deliver it to spinal cord or whether to brain. But as we are talking about reflex action, no brain, only the spinal cord. Spinal cord will immediately give that message to the motor nerve, and motor nerve will send the message to effector organ, and we will get a response. Flashlight is a stimulus. Flashlight struck an eye. Eye is a receptor. This receptor gave the message to sensory neuron. Sensory gave it to spinal cord. Spinal cord immediately gave it to the motor neuron. Motor neuron sent the message to the nearby organ. For example, your eye. Muscles of the eye received that message and the muscles closed your eye. So closing of eye is a response. So this arc that is formed is known as reflex arc. Okay. First of all, you get a stimulus, then stimulus is received by receptor. Receptor sends the message to sensory neuron. It then delivers it to the spinal cord. Spinal cord gives the message to motor neuron. And then it gives to the effector organ and your eye closes. That means you got a response. This is what is happening in reflex action. An arc is formed. The message didn't reach the brain. It take a U-turn, right? So this is a reflex arc. Alright, that is all about your chapter, and we'll continue with the other parts in the next class. Thank you.